watching these meltdowns are the highlight of my day. They realize, hey, man, we can't even win. And again, when it's CNN, look, I'm over here rhyming, I'm spitting. When it's CNN telling you that, hey, man, it's over. It's really over.
Look, these Sunbelt battleground states, frankly, for the Joe Biden campaign, these numbers are an absolute disaster. The smallest lead is in Arizona for Donald Trump. He's up 6. Look at this, 9 in Georgia, 13 in Nevada. My goodness gracious, my God. That is a huge lead. No Democrat has lost that state since John Kerry lost it back in 2004. How about these Great Lake battleground states? This is something that the Joe Biden campaign can work with. Look, Pennsylvania, Donald Trump up 3, but that's well within the margin of error. Wisconsin, Donald Trump up 1, well within the margin of error. And actually, a Joe Biden lead well within the margin of error, up a point here. This they can work with the Joe Biden campaign. This, the Donald Trump campaign, absolutely loves, and it looks like a lot of the other polling on the Sunbelt battlegrounds.
When you're looking into the numbers, why do you think Biden is doing better in the Great Lakes and Trump is doing so much better in the Sunbelt?
Yeah, the Trump coalition is changing. That's basically what's cooking here. This is at least one of the big reasons why. So this is among likely voters in all these battleground states we just spoke about.
Look at
Back
that.
in 2020, 84% of the Trump campaigns, the Trump coalition was white. Look where it is now. It's 78%. The non-white portion of the Trump coalition, it was 13% in 2020. Look at this now. It's 19%. So the Trump coalition is becoming more diverse. And, of course, those Sunbelt battleground states are more diverse than the Great Lake battleground states.
You're looking at the Nevadas and the Arizonas here.
Of course. If you look at Nevada, Arizona, heavy Hispanic population, Georgia, heavily African-American population. Michigan does have some black voters in it, but Pennsylvania and Wisconsin are heavily, heavily white.
Very interesting. Okay, add it all up. What does this say about where the race stands right now? We're talking Electoral College and the race to 270.
Yeah, the race to 270. It's advantage Donald Trump, but he's not over the 270 mark just yet, all right?
Okay.
So if we flip Nevada, Arizona, and Georgia here in your lighter shades
Look at
of
that
pink,
map.
you add them to the states, and of course the 2nd congressional district up in Maine, which Donald Trump won last time around, that gets him to 268 electoral votes. If we keep Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania in the too close to call category, along with Nebraska's 2nd congressional district, Joe Biden at 225. So it's advantage Donald Trump, but Joe Biden does at this point have a path to 270.
Yeah, and right now, as you're pointing out, neither.
Yeah.
Neither there.
Neither there.
And we have a long road to it
Yes,
still.
we do.
Oh, you right. You know what I'm saying? It ain't there yet, but we can see where it's going. He definitely going to be able to flip those states if he get up in them. Pause. I had to catch myself real quick, but once he goes to visit, I like to see how that turns out. Joe Biden, man, look like he might have a little chance. I wonder how, though. He giving the Stormy Daniels effect. You gonna go to her to see if she can communicate with some unalive people and maybe coordinate some help effort. Oh my gosh. Anyhow, you're starting to see not only in the black community but the Latino community as well. For sure, it's just the Hispanic community is growing very, very much in terms of being in support of Donald Trump. And we're seeing why the migrants are important for Biden. Like, let me put 2 and 2 together for you if it ain't making sense. Well, why does he want to rush to get them to citizenship, and why is he aiding them so much and stuffing them up and buttering them all up? Yeah, think about it. They realize, we're not going to be able to get the black vote, this time, I don't know how that thing going to work. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, they out here trying everything they can. They out here eating chicken tenders at black people houses. Joe Biden, that is. I think he on his 3rd try at this point. He's going out he's pretty much trying to attempt everything Donald Trump does, and it just continues to backfire in terms of the black community and the Hispanic community. I see Latinos for Trump everywhere on the internet as well. So shout out to my Latinos out here, campaigning. But yeah, so what are they gonna do? They're gonna replace those I don't even want to say the V word, odors. Oh my gosh, what is going on with my lingo? I didn't want to put the V in front of it. So odors, they're trying to replace us, with them. That's why they stuffing them up and buttering them up. Y'all gotta see what's going on, man. But the meltdown is real. CNN, they ain't got no choice. Like, at this point, I'm over here like, yo, are these anchors risking their jobs right now, or is the teleprompter actually saying that? Because, boy, they getting away with a lot more truth. Now, we seen this clip in the previous video, but we got to run it back for this one for the sake of the meltdown on CNN.
And the trials against him keep him in the spotlight, infuriate his base, who sees him as a martyr, and even may serve to make him the object of some sympathy among people in general who believe that his prosecutors are politically motivated. This happens to be true, in my opinion. I doubt the New York indictment would have been brought against a defendant whose name was not Donald Trump. A majority of Americans are skeptical that Trump will be able to get a fair trial, according to a CNN poll.
Today, Michael Cohen is set to testify. Yeah, I know, y'all. We gotta talk about it. But in relation to this video about, the meltdown, let's hear from Trump's perspective what he seems to think is going on. We all know, though.
Well, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate you being here. The New York Times just came out with a poll that shows us leading everywhere by a lot. This is the cover story, and I think you'll find it very interesting, but I'm sure you've all read it. Leading in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Michigan, Georgia, and Nevada. Nevada, we are leading actually by 12 points, which is generally a Democrat state. I think we're probably leading in New Jersey. We had a rally, over 100,000 people this weekend. A lot of the mainstream media didn't want to say how many people, they didn't want to cover it. But in fact, I don't think anybody did. I hear the crowd was not shown by the mainstream media, which is what they tell me, but that's par for the course. A couple of quotes that just came out. Fareed Zakaria, no friend of mine. The Trump trial is politically motivated. I doubt the New York indictment would have been brought against a defendant whose name was not Donald Trump. Mark Levin, great guy, brilliant man. Our judicial system has blown up, it's broken. Andrew McCarthy. Trump should be acquitted in Manhattan, wholly independent of the plethora of constitutional infirmities in the prosecution. It should be thrown out for the most basic of reasons. Bragg cannot prove his case. Got no evidence. And I'm innocent. This is a political witch hunt, and nobody's ever seen anything like it. And I tell you what, the appellate division on the judges should step in, because what this judge is getting away with is disgraceful, including the fact that we have thousands of people, we had 100,000 people in New Jersey. They would like to show their support. It's like an armed camp outside. You can't get one person within 3 blocks of this courthouse. Greg Jarrett, we're not, I mean, you take a look at this statement. We're entering the 4th week, and there's still no evidence whatsoever connecting Trump with any criminal wrongdoing. A crime that's not charged, it's a crime that, in which prosecutors won't even tell the defendant what it is. I have no idea what they're even doing. We have records, and they talk about bookkeeping. The only thing down in the bookkeeping is that we call a legal expense a legal expense. We don't call it a construction expense. We don't say for concrete work. We don't say for electrical work. We paid a lawyer a legal expense, and we have a legal expense is a legal expense. It's marked down in the book, quote, legal expense. It's perfectly marked down. The other side doesn't know how to handle it, but they say, let's indict him anyway, because that's what Biden, this all comes from Biden in the White House, by the way. And they have their top people here. Because when he can't put 2 sentences together, he's the worst president in the history of our country. Can't speak, can't walk off a helicopter, can't walk off a plane, can't walk off a stage. And the only way they think they can win is if they can do something with Trump. Because we have an incompetent, the worst president in the history of the United States of America. Jonathan Turley, after Bragg closes the prosecution's case, the defense will make a standard motion for dismissal. Mershon, who is so corrupt and so conflicted, like no judge has ever been. And the press doesn't want to write about it, but you know exactly what we're saying. Mershon should grant that motion for dismissal. There's been no showing at crime. They failed to protect the rights of the defendant from a baseless, politically motivated prosecution. That's Jonathan Turley. All very talented legal experts. But the big thing today seems to be the Times. I'm sure the Times is thrilled. I respect them for at least letting it come out. And there it is. It's Trump leading by a lot in every state. Every swing state leading by a lot. This trial is rigged. It's dishonest. It's a disgrace to New York. It's a disgrace to the country. I should be out campaigning now instead of sitting in a very cold courthouse all day long. This is a Biden prosecution. It's election interference at a level that nobody in this country has ever seen before. This is for third world countries, not for the USA. Thank you very much.
Super clever because, you know, he does have a gag order. But this man is using headlines to actually translate what he actually wants to say. And what he wants to say is obvious. Well, he actually was able to say that this is politically motivated. Duh, but yeah, man, we see what's going on. We know why this stuff is happening because this man is in the lead. He's leading, and he's leading in historically predominant Democrat voted states. Yeah, this guy's in the blue states with it over here, just flipping them over and over. Is this going to be the year where we see the red wave happen? I don't know, but it's definitely heading in that direction as we continue to see Trump go through this, BS. Now, about Michael Cohen, I'm definitely about to get ready to go cover him in the next video. So, y'all, man, team thing, keep thinking. I ain't said that in a minute.